Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. We've got a long one today, so I'm going to jump right into the video. The hair we are using is from Eayonhair. They sent me over a couple of bundles of their bulk human hair for braiding, the silky straight variety. Here's what the hair looks like straight out of the box, and I can tell, I've worked with so much human hair, I can tell this is high quality full strand hair from root to tip. I believe I have the 20-inch, and for this full look that I'm doing today, I only used 2 bundles. If you have ever wondered if you're getting the real deal, here is a way to test the hair. The hair on the right is synthetic and the hair on the left is Eayon straight hair. When you burn synthetic hair, it melts like this, and when you burn human hair, it turns to ash like this. This is what the hair looks like after I have shampooed it and dried it. And I just want you to take a look at the top of these bundles. They are completely full. I even pulled them and combed them out, and there were no short strands at all. To prep the hair, I did go ahead and comb through some braid gel at the ends to keep the hair from slipping and sliding around, because again, this is silky straight hair. And if you don't have a rack like mine, which is much more on the larger side, you will need 2 racks or more to prep all of the hair. You can prep as you go, however, I find it so much less stressful if you prep in advance. Also, for the structure of the braid, I prepped 1 pack of the Expressions braiding hair in 32 inches on the left hand side of the rack. Now jumping into the install, my model is relaxed, and I'm going to go ahead and part her off into 4 sections. We're going to be doing C parts, and whenever I do C parts, parting away into 4 sections helps me manage how much I'm doing and manage my time as well. I actually finished this entire head in about 4.5 hours. Now jumping into the actual technique, go ahead and get your notes out and pay attention. I'm going to do this in real time so you can follow along. Starting with her natural hair, I find it's much easier when you're dealing with relaxed hair because you're fighting 2 textures, and usually relaxed clients have thicker hair. Start the braid off with their natural hair to get it nice and secure. I'm going to add in 1 piece of the braiding hair and 1 more piece of the braiding hair. So I only added 2 pieces of braiding hair to start off with. And of course, there is a method to the madness. By only adding in 2 pieces, I'm left with 1 single leg, this one right here, that is always going to be smaller than the rest of them. And if I put it in my middle position, I'm just going to use that as my guide to add in the human braiding hair. And notice that I'm only inserting the one side of the end of that piece of hair, and I'm not hooking it downward. I'm doing that because I know I'm going to add in about 5 to 6 pieces of hair, and if you hook it downward, it's going to make the braid more bulkier. So you're really just using the hair to extend the life of that shorter strand. And I didn't use the 3-finger method for spacing. I just added hair as the strand got lighter. And one key thing to note is that this type of hairstyle, this type of braiding style requires a lot of expert experience. So if you are not a tight braider, notice that I am braiding underhand. If you are not a tight braider and you don't feel like you can get a good grip on keeping this hair in place, this is not the style for you to try. You have to be able to braid as tightly as possible because this human hair will slide out if you are not careful. I know sometimes we want to save inches on the bundles, but you're going to need to insert at least 3 inches of that tip into the braid to keep it from coming out. Because with this type of hairstyle, you want to be able to brush and comb the hair with ease. And here's one more look at how I insert the strand on the middle leg. I'm just inserting it, clipping the end out of the way, and then I'm just continuing to braid as tightly as possible. Now this step is optional for the ends. I wanted the hair to be loose on the ends, so I inserted 2 pieces and hooked them downward on the ends of the strands, and I made sure that I left a good amount of the braiding hair so that we can do the wrap and tap method. So this is going to get a little bit trickier, so if you're not a highly experienced braider, I suggest you practice before you work on a live model. Now that I've got my 2 strands at the end, I'm going to carefully pull out a piece of the braiding hair. This has to be a piece of the braiding hair, because what we're going to do is we're going to use the synthetic fibers to seal the braid off. And you notice that I'm just wrapping it. I've shown you guys this a couple of times, but this is the wrap and tap method. I wrapped it around for about a good ½ inch or so. Then I'm going to grab my pencil flat iron set at 450 degrees or higher. I'm going to tap the top of that wrap until it melts a little bit. And then here is a little bit different. I'm going to hold the iron at the bottom of the wrap until it completely melts the hair away. By doing so, you kind of sandwich in the synthetic fibers on the other side of the human hair. The human hair will not burn and it will not do anything. It's only the synthetic fibers that we need to seal the deal. And here's one more close-up look at how I do that method. I'm just going to grab a piece of the synthetic hair, wrap it about a ½ inch very tightly. Make sure my pencil flat iron is set to 450 degrees or higher. I'm going to tap the top of the wrap, and then when I get to the bottom of that wrap, right there at the bottom where everything meets, I'm going to hold it until everything melts away. Remember to rub everything in your fingers to seal everything in. Again, this step is totally optional. You can just leave the ends of the braiding hair straight, but it will limit how much heat styling you can do with the hair. And you also want to remember to go a couple of inches past the natural hair length, because you will have to cut the braid out when it's time to take these down. And here is my progress after only 1 hour. I finished the first quadrant in the back, and just brushing through the hair to see how thick and full I wanted to keep going with. And here we are at the 2-hour mark. Got most of the back of the head done, only have the 2 quadrants in the front to go. And here we are at the 4-hour mark. So it took me about 4.5 hours, another ½ an hour for that little piece there at the top. And this is what the hair is looking like. To set the hair, I went ahead and pressed it out and bumped the ends a little bit. I would not suggest going above 400 degrees whenever you're doing heat styling. Of course, this is bone straight hair, so it is not going to hold the curl for very long. And then once you wash it, of course, it's going to go back to bone straight. But you don't want to go above 400 because, again, we use braiding hair as the structure of the braid, and you do not want to burn the hair. And if I was her, I wouldn't even rely on heat styling. I would just flexi rod the hair at night. And here is the final look. She says she went out that weekend and the amount of compliments she got was insane. So again, this is Eayonhair. They do have a summer special running right now, but if you missed the special, I will leave a discount code for you in the description box below. Thank you to Eayonhair for sending this hair over for us to try out today. Again, if you learned something, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and tell a friend. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.